Hey, everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarian. I'm joined by the Superman in my life, Rich Stambolian.
Fly right into your heart.
That's how you do it. Today, this is a bonus show that we're doing. This is a total extra. A lot of news, a lot of wrestling, a lot going on. Wrestle Kingdom happened yesterday, Wrestle Kingdom 13, New Year's Dash today, continuing the speculation as to where Kenny Omega's going. This is a lot is going on. There was a sit down between Ring of Honor, AEW, and New Japan over the weekend.
How do you think that went?
This morning, early Saturday, Japan. I have not heard anything about that.
Yeah.
I don't know how it went, but it had to have gone some direction because based on New Year's Dash, there was no Bucks, there was no Cody, there was no Kenny.
No Marty?
No Marty.
No Hangman?
No Hangman, no Jericho.
Very interesting. Jericho did do the press conference, though. And he said he's gunning for the IWGP heavy, which is fine. You know?
Yeah, which we'll get into all that. I do want to take a moment and thank you guys for all the support over the last couple of weeks. Our Patreon is blowing up, patreon.com/MattManPodcast. You can go there, fund us. Also, on YouTube, we have a super chat.
Yeah.
So you can fund us. Hit that $ and give us your dollars.
Just one.
Just one of your dollars.
Just
give
$1.
you your dollars here. You can follow me on Twitter at AndrewZarian. You can follow Rich at BTCRich. If this is the first time you're watching this, welcome. We've been doing this for over 230 episodes.
Years, too.
And 230 years we've been doing this show. It feels like it sometimes. And today we just wanted to do a special show before Monday because a lot of news is going to come out this week and the following week. Leading up, I guess, to Rumble and WrestleMania. It's going to be a very hectic time. I feel like wrestling has gone into overdrive, and now we're officially in WrestleMania season.
It starts early.
Starts early this year. So let's begin with Wrestle Kingdom. You watched all of it, I assume. I watched all of it. I know you woke up early.
Hey.
You woke up early.
How are you?
Yeah, we're having a kids party here at 2 o'clock.
That's very sweet,
Yeah.
though.
She came in to say hello to you.
So I got up really early yesterday. I set my alarm. I went to bed early. I was a good boy, and I missed the big trios thing, and that was also the only place where we saw Hangman and Marty, right?
In an opener.
In the opener.
Well, not the opener. I mean the
pre-show.
Yeah.
So I caught from Will Ospreay to Coda on. Very interesting. Okay, I'm not taking a shit on Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay.
Right? But for the most part, they hit a huge reset button with their roster, and a lot of Wrestle Kingdom, apart from the top 3 matches, bit of a shoulder shrugger.
Yeah, so
bit of like
I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that Wrestle Kingdom in 2015, so that would have been which one? Wrestle Kingdom go back a couple years. Go back a couple years.
That would be what, 4 years?
4 years.
So Wrestle Kingdom 9?
Wrestle Kingdom 9 was very good.
That was the last Shinsuke one, right?
No, 10 was the last Shinsuke one where JR was calling it. Okay. It was Shinsuke Nakamura and Kota Ibushi.
Okay, 9.
No, I'm sorry. It was Shinsuke Nakamura and was these dates. I can't because it's that whole January thing that screws me up.
9.
It was Kota Ibushi and then it was AJ Styles.
AJ and Naito.
Nakamura
Kota.
And
Tanahashi and Okada.
Okay.
That was top 3. That was 9.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was 2015.
2015.
That was probably one of the best ones. And then last year's was up there also.
Yes. Last year's was very good. It was good, but again, they hit that reset button, man. But they're also doing it smartly. All right, this is what I wanted to ask you about. Like, if you watch Wrestle Kingdom, every belt changed hands.
Every seven title changes.
It seems like, they put everything more on your traditional wrestlers again. LIJ, Ishimori, Tana, right? Juice Robinson, of course. And he went through the dojo system. It seems like this whole AEW Kenny and the Bucks thing and all those guys threw kind of a monkey wrench into the New Japan plan for the expansion, right? Because with Kenny at the head, who better to have lead the American expansion, right?
Yeah, that was a plan for a long time.
Right. It's kind of strange, right?
Yeah, kind of strange. So let's begin with the card,
Okay.
and we'll just go through it really quick. Do you have it in front of you?
Got it
or
right
you
in front of me.
Okay.
All right. Kota Ibushi, Will Ospreay.
Very good opener.
Very good opener. Went 18 minutes.
Super fast. I mean, and I like Will Ospreay's new style.
Yes.
Smart man.
Yeah.
He's realizing that he can't do these insane flips
Mm-hmm.
every single match. So he's still doing a lot of stuff. He's very quick. He's very athletic.
Mm-hmm.
But he's doing more like a brawler type a little bit. It's very aggressive.
He's a big guy too.
Yeah, I think he's getting there. He's getting to that main event level. By the end of the year, he'll be a main event guy. In
Absolutely.
That company.
He's also one of those weird holdouts that will he end up in another federation if the price is right?
He doesn't want to. No, he doesn't want to.
Everybody says that at some point.
Yeah.
He's also 23.
He's also very young.
Yeah. Kota unfortunately suffered a minor concussion as well and had to be stretchered out.
The stretcher job was a work that was set from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
But concussion was real.
Concussion was very real.
Yeah. LIJ beat Suzuki-gun and Roppongi 3K. This is the first belt that LIJ wins of the night.
Yeah.
Great match. Ibushi did 0 in that match.
Yeah, nothing. Why? Why was that?
Weird, right?
He did nothing.
I love Takagi. Shingo Takagi is awesome, and he wrestles like he's 10 feet tall. But he's probably like 5'6".
Yeah.
Zack Jr. defeated Ishii. Great match. I thought their match at the G1 was a lot better.
I thought the match at G1 was a lot better. I thought Ishii had a much better first half of the year compared to the second half of the year.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny though? Zack Sabre Jr. looked strong the entire match.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he dominated Ishii.
Yeah.
And I was very surprised about that because you're telling the story of the size difference too. You know, he's a stone pit bull, whatever that means. What does that mean?
He's a huge Pitbull fan.
He's a stoned pit bull.
Yeah.
He likes the rapper.
He's
Got it.
He represents 305. He's a big people fan. Love people. Yeah. It was a good match.
Yeah.
Zach looked great. He brings the British heavyweight. It's like the Rev Pro Championship, so he brings it back to the UK. And I believe he has a title defense against Pac.
He has a title defense against Pac.
Yeah,
Ooh,
like Neville.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so that's kind of cool.
You know, Neville's that's another name that we're not really talking about. Which we should.
Am I right about that?
I don't know.
I might be wrong about that. It might be.
I'll tell you how my brain works.
Mhm.
Like I retain a lot of information, especially when I really like something, like with wrestling.
Sure.
It's like the way that I explain it, and my wife is blown away sometimes because I'll ramble facts about wrestling to her while I'm watching Raw or whatever, and she'll constantly say like, how do you know this, but you didn't know whatever? You know, like I've told you that we're having kids over at 2:00.
You didn't eat today.
You didn't eat today. Yeah. But the way that it works, it's almost like a filing system.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, if someone says something, it's almost like I'm going and trying to pull the file out.
Right.
And then you just broke my system because I did not have that reserved in there.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a blank sheet when I pulled out if you're right or wrong right there.
All I got to say is that somebody is wrestling and somebody will be British.
No,
Let's leave it at
maybe
that.
someone in the chat knows.
I'm sure MG Geek knows.
Yeah. Zack Sabre Jr. looked really good and really strong. I don't think he's going to AEW.
No, I think he's gonna stay with the British scene and the New Japan scene. He's got a good future, and he did look a little more meaty yesterday.
I hope so.
He
Put
looked
some meat
jacked.
on that
Yeah,
boy.
Yeah. Do you want him to have like broad shoulders?
Oh, by the way, yeah, I want him.
Yeah.
By the way, I criticize. You know, I think he's good. I think he's fine. I would find him way more believable if he was a little bit bigger.
Okay.
The reports were that it was really funny. Jericho at this point has his own dressing room and he's getting ready. And the guys are one by one going in there after their matches,
Kissing him
and asking, and kissing him on the lips, and asking him what he thought of the match. And Ospreay and him had a very long conversation, and he was sitting there and giving him pointers as to, you know, this is what you did great. This is what I would have done. This is how you would have done it. So interesting to see Jericho in that veteran role.
Yeah.
With a lot of these younger guys.
It's Chris Jericho.
And the amazing thing is, and we'll talk more about it when we get to the Chris Jericho match. Yeah. But he 48 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, you know he's really evolved
Absolutely.
There was something amazing that I saw today, and it was a video of Chris Jericho from 1998, January 1998, and he was obviously a young man then, but he's wrestling a 48-year-old Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And it was just it was like a 10-minute Nitro match, right?
Yeah.
And what a style difference.
Right.
With Flair, him wrestling Flair at 48 and him wrestling Naito when he's 48.
Yeah.
It was actually a really interesting video to see. Go ahead, sorry.
The epitome of pro wrestling, that guy.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho. That was an 11-minute match. It felt like it was longer because of all the holds and maneuvers.
The
submissions.
The Ospreay match.
Yeah, no, the Zack Sabre match.
The Zack Sabre. I'm sorry, yeah, that's what I meant.
The next up on the card is LIJ, Sonata, and Evil defeating the Guerrillas of Destiny and the Bucks in a 3-way for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. This match went 10 minutes. Again, a little bit of a shoulder shrugger. You can kind of you knew that the Bucks were on their way out. Not that they did a terrible job in this match.
Yeah.
They did. They're fantastic, But this was a good setup for Sonata and Evil, who I think are primed to have an amazing year.
Sonata and Evil are a great tag team.
Amazing tag team.
Yeah.
Sonata Evil looks like he is the embodiment of Spencer Gifts. It's like a shiny robe, weird face.
I told you, Evil looks like there was a and this is so funny. Whenever I see it, there was this kid James Kim I went to school with. And he looks just like Evil.
Did he wear?
And he was like really into Marilyn Manson, and he used to come to school with giant black Jenko jeans all the time and a Marilyn Manson T-shirt. And he used to, at one point, he was doing the makeup.
Oh, it's the best.
running makeup. He was he was a sad Korean boy.
The best.
A very sad Korean boy.
Is Evil that your version of him?
Yeah, he looks. Yeah, I mean, that's all I could see. I just think of James.
He was having trouble getting to the ring because he couldn't see
with
the hood, and then I was I love Evil. He's
hey,
great.
Girls of Destiny had a great
great intro.
Yeah, nice outfits.
With the
they
masks.
look like the Cabal from Mortal Kombat. Not Cabal, the cyborgs from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
right? Is that what it was?
I think they went for in the Batman comics. There's a Red Hood who has that exact mask.
Okay.
It's like a motorcycle mask. I think that's what they went for. But yeah, Sonata and Evil. I love Sonata. I think Sonata is going to be a main eventer sooner than later.
Sonata is.
Yeah. Juice beat Cody with Brandy. Juice is very over in Japan.
Yeah, this was actually not a great match. I didn't really like this match.
9 minutes.
By the way, Cody's getting surgery on his knee.
Double knee surgery.
No, he has a torn something. I forgot what it was, but he's getting surgery. So I that did play a little bit in this. Cody came out with the Jacksonville Jaguars colors on his tights with the same font. A lot of AEW talk on commentary. Also, during commentary, they mentioned Shinsuke Nakamura about 10 times.
Yeah.
If you want to read between the lines a little bit there.
They do. I saw somebody respond to that this morning saying, like, they treat it like a sport, so they're going to mention other organizations. But they talked a lot. It was, like, to the point where it's like, why do they keep bringing
they called up Sasha. They called his moves. People did his moves. It was a lot. And I know that's the way that Cyrus
Don Callis
does a lot of his commentary. By the way, phenomenal on commentary as a heel color guy.
Yeah.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Very good. So it was an okay match, but not great. Brandy got involved, speared Juice Robinson with her bionic shoulder, right?
Yeah.
That's the story. A lot of people don't know, but she had shoulder surgery, and that's why that move is like devastating.
Yeah.
It's the narcissist Lex Luger plated, forearm thing.
It's all a video game.
It's all a video game, dude. So very good match. Very good. No, let me
good
rephrase
for what
that.
it was.
Good for Juice getting the title because that's when he needed it. Not a great match. Out of that top four, that was the worst one.
Cody also, I like that Cody put him over very, very good with the two finishers. Yeah, with the two Pulp Frictions.
Yeah,
that was great. Juice is over in Japan. That guy went through the dojo system.
That finish is what? It's a unprettier, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a super unprettier.
Yeah. Okay.
Which it was good. Juice is he's come a long way. Japan loves him. I like his outlandishness. He came out like all the Johnny Depps yesterday.
All the Johnny Depps. What was
Good looking guy too.
What was the next match? IC title.
The next match, I'm looking at 9. Ishimori and Kushida for the junior heavyweight. Great match.
Very great. Yeah. Really like this.
How creepy was the Kushida intro with the kid and the Kushida mask?
Oh, and then he did the yeah.
And then he disappeared.
Big entrance.
But big entrance. I like Taguchi as Doc Brown. I think they should just have him be Doc Brown.
That's all you should do.
Great match. Nice, good back and forth. Ishimori is super jacked. And again, he's one of those dudes that looks big, but he's probably like 5'2".
I think he's like he's not a big guy.
You know, but great match. That was like the first.
You know, the junior division kind of got messed up with Hiromu getting hurt.
Yeah,
big time. And this spot probably would have been for him because he was getting. I mean, that was a major hit to the company.
Plus, like if you think about it, it would have been Hiromu versus Kushida, right?
Probably.
And Hiromu probably would have gotten the belt for LIJ.
Do we
they
have
gave
any news
everybody
on how his comeback is going? Because he hasn't wrestled since G1 in San Francisco. And that was a bad injury for people who don't remember. Takahashi out a little longer than originally thought, said Saito. Oh, this is Saito was on Jericho's podcast and said this. Jericho then asked if Takahashi would be able to return to the ring. He said, I think so. Still out like months and months. So, and even when he comes back, I don't expect him to be doing the stuff that he did. But this guy got really over, and I think when he comes back, he's going to be a major player for New Japan.
Yeah.
I'm not very concerned with that junior division if he's leading it.
I agree. But there are a lot of juniors that can fill the division. I just think it's like it lost a lot of I think the junior division loses a lot of steam when guys move up to heavyweight.
Yeah, which eventually always happens.
You know, Kenny.
Yeah.
Devitt. On Hiromu getting hurt, Ibushi moving up.
Yeah.
You know. Ospreay moving up.
Ospreay moving up.
You know, just get like a little beefy.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like these guys.
Kushida is as big as he can get. I think physically. You know. But I love Kushida, man. Kushida is like one of those dudes that like I've loved watching that guy for years, and I felt like I don't know if he got hurt or something happened, but he kind of fell off in the last year and a half.
Kushida.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
they gave him like a nice documentary a couple years ago.
There's a good chance that Kushida's going to WWE.
That would be cool.
That's also part of it.
Could you see Kushida in NXT?
Yes, but I don't know what they would possibly do with him. Look at Hideo.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
You know, that's another one that might go back. Hideo's contract is running up also.
But he'll go back to Noah probably.
Nah, I think New Japan would make a big play for Kenta.
That would be cool, man.
Yeah.
Let's see what's next. All right. So we're getting into the last
Jericho Naito.
Well, it's Okada.
Oh yes.
Okada and versus Jay White. Now, I love Jay White. I think he's great. His entrance is awesome. His gear is awesome. The fact that the crowd popped so hard for Okada in his shorts.
Did you see the video?
Yeah.
Okay. For people who haven't seen it, this is awesome. There's a video of a bar in Japan, right? Yeah. It's a bar, and it's like a 2-story bar, and it's packed. And they on this giant projector, they have Wrestle Kingdom airing.
Yeah.
Okada's out there, and he takes off his robe, and he has like these like
the
snaps.
Skirt.
Yeah, it's like a skirt almost, right?
Yeah.
He takes that off, and he's wearing the shorts. This bar
erupted
at the fact that he was back to wearing the shorts and he had the blonde hair.
So did the crowd. Like when he came out with and if you guys want to watch that video, it's on Bad Luck Fale's Instagram page. It's like the last post. So the crowd popped when he came out with the blonde hair.
The crowd popped big time, yeah. Because he's back.
He's back. Rainmaker, dollars everywhere. Yeah. He's making it rain. Awesome entrance. They gave him another thing too. Before I get into that is. You know what made it different this year? They didn't give every single match
a big entrance
or a vignette.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why it went by super quick.
And it was last year's, I think, was 7 hours.
It was very long.
It was very because I remember I was watching it when I woke up and they still weren't on the main event.
Yeah. It was they went to like I want to say like 8:30 last year our time. Maybe 9. But Okada comes down. They do the vignette. They do the montage with Switchblade, how he defected from Chaos, and the betrayal of Gato and all that stuff.
So Switchblade is in Bullet Club, correct?
He is the leader of Bullet
He's
Club.
the leader of Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they don't really make that very obvious.
Well, they did at New Year's Dash. Yesterday.
Yeah, so we got to find that. But
yeah, so great entrances. The dude takes off his skirt, and the crowd goes bananas because he's back in shorts.
yeah.
They love that thigh, that gap. It's
People, by the
it's
way,
like
are saying that video is not real.
Okay.
And it's an edit.
Oh,
I don't
really?
care. I don't care.
Whatever.
You know what? We're gonna kayfabe it, and it's totally real.
That's real.
It is real.
I popped it's like, you know how you see like a hot chick with like her belly showing?
Yeah. It's like that.
They want like just that thigh, that thigh gap.
Yeah.
That's what they pop for. Great match. This is one of those reasons why Okada is Okada. Big match Okada.
Big match Okada. Very good match.
Yeah. Good match. 14 minutes.
Okay, so let's be a little critical.
Sure.
Jay White is very good.
He's awesome. Yeah.
He is not, and I know he's the potential replacement for a Kenny Omega or all the guys that they're losing.
Yeah.
He's the next guy.
Yeah.
He's missing a lot of that development.
I think it's coming.
It's a I'm not saying it's a forced push. I think he's on his way.
Yeah.
And he'll get there. I just feel like it's about 8 months premature.
I think people were saying that last year.
When they started it.
Yeah, when he showed up, where it was like, who's attack? Oh, was it Okada or was it Tanahashi?
He attacked Kenny, I think, right? Remember the whole when Switchblade is back, and then they did the Bullet Club thing, and then he attacked him. I don't know how long ago that was.
I think it was Tanahashi, because somebody was stalking Tanahashi, and it ended up being Switchblade, and then they had their match.
Yeah.
They had their match last year at Wrestle Kingdom, and people took a big dump on it because they were like, Jay White's not ready.
Oh, was that the match? I can't remember, dude. My brain is so. Either way, I think
what happened to the filing system?
The filing system is really whack.
Broken today.
No, well, there's a lot of because remember, when I had the job,
yeah,
I wasn't watching like I watch now.
That's right. Yeah.
So for like, there's like a big 18-month gap.
What's happening?
I think he's very good and he'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when that moment will come.
Okay.
And I thought they would have done something very big at New Year's Dash, and they kind of did it half-assed. But for the reasons that they had to. They didn't have a choice.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Okay.
So
good match.
Fine. Good.
Yeah. 14 minutes.
Not bad.
Okada put over Jay White big time, with they should call his move the Switchster Abigail. It's called the Blade Runner.
Okay.
But it's Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
All right. Next match, NATO defeated a completely bananas looking Chris Jericho. In I thought a great no DQ match. Usually I'm not a big fan of no DQ matches, but they did a good job with this one. 22 minutes. How did you feel about it?
The Jericho match.
Yeah.
I thought that was the match of the night.
Okay.
That was my favorite match. I liked it better than the Omega match.
Okay.
Chris Jericho comes out, okay?
Yes.
And all I'm thinking is, when Vince sees this, what is he thinking?
You mean the jacket and the entrance?
This whole thing. He sees Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
What is he thinking?
I don't get it, but I like it.
You think he's thinking do you think he's like, we need this? Or is he like, what happened? You see, they leave us and they lose their fucking minds,
Maybe. He's like Mad Max. Yeah, I think he's like, I don't get it, but I like it.
I love 48-year-old emo dad Jericho.
It's the best.
It's awesome. They brawled. That was a brawl.
Yeah, it was great.
Has he become a brawler?
I think so.
Is he the new Bruiser Brody? He goes to Japan. He's like Terry Funk. He's like Bruiser Brody.
They were making that. They were making that call on the commentary too. They were saying like he's basically Bruiser Brody at this point.
Yeah.
No, he's just hitting.
He's fat now.
Yeah.
He's a little out of shape.
Yet muscular,
but like has that beer belly. Dude grew out his hair again, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Has this weirdo makeup on. The DDT on the freaking table that didn't break.
DDT was good.
I thought that match was solid.
Great
he
match.
Kicked out of the Destino.
Yep. and he took a pile driver on the ramp.
He took a pile driver. Dude, I posted that video. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah.
Spike. It was like a spike pile driver too.
Yeah.
Very good match. You know what's amazing? I didn't think those two had the chemistry in the beginning.
Yeah.
But holy crap, they have such amazing chemistry.
Naito is awesome.
Did you see Jericho's weird thing that he does after a match? If he thinks he had a great match with you,
No.
he'll go and he'll do this somewhere on your body.
Get out of here.
Yeah, no. So after the match, he does it. Yeah, he'll be like that. That was a good match. It's like his thing. Like he goes to Naito's inner thigh and goes,
"Give me that."
Yeah, no, give me your hand.
So this is Naito's
so Jericho.
legs.
This is this is Naito's leg, right?
Uh-huh.
Here is like his upper inner thigh.
Uh-huh.
He goes like this.
Yeah. Just give him that boner.
I liked it. If he had taken a blue chew at that moment, you don't know what could have happened. Very good match. 48-year-old Chris Jericho put on possibly the match of the night. Put on a beautiful line salt.
Oh, so good.
I was very impressed by the storytelling and the match, and it was exactly what it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Naito won, obviously. Well-deserved. Intercontinental champion once again.
LIJ takes all the belts.
LIJ took all the belts.
Except for 2.
And now we're at the main event. Kenny Omega versus Tanahashi.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I was up for this match as it was happening.
Yeah.
Kenny looked very sad.
Yo, Kenny looked like he knew he was gonna it was over.
So
right?
by the way, Kenny also went back to the cleaner hair.
Yep.
He got rid of the blonde.
Great entrance.
Solid entrance. He actually came out as the fallen,
one-winged angel.
One-winged angel.
There you go.
There you go.
You spelled it angle on Twitter before.
And one-angled angel?
You spelled it one-winged angle.
Did I really?
Yeah, you did. I don't think you can spell that word.
I got Kurt Angle on my mind.
Well, who
I always
doesn't?
do. Really good match. Kenny
carried the whole match.
He really did. He worked really hard.
40 minutes, longest match in Wrestle Kingdom history.
And he also changed his entire style.
Yeah.
Was it the longest match?
Longest main event in Wrestle Kingdom history.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
He made Tanahashi look like $1 million. At certain times during the match, it looked like they were really coming to blows. You
could tell that there is some sort of dislike.
Animosity.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Interesting that he doesn't have that with Okada. Tanahashi and Okada.
I think as I read I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus with this, but I read a bunch of stuff with concerning Tanahashi and Omega, and it's basically Tanahashi's not a fan of Kenny's lifestyle choice, whatever they may be.
Interesting.
Right? And a lot of that stuff is kind of floating around the internet, and it kind of fans the fire a little bit, where it's his style is not like my style. They work a very similar style.
Listen, and Kenny's not the first guy that's worked like that with him.
Yeah.
Naito is pretty similar to Kenny.
Right.
Kenny did change his entire style for Tanahashi.
Absolutely.
They worked a very different type of match.
Really good match.
Kenny told a story that his knee was blown out.
Yeah.
A lot of Snapdragon suplexes. He did not hit him with the one-winged angel.
Yeah. He did it.
Isn't a one-winged?
It's the same word. You could say it either way. You could say one-winged angel.
I can't do it today.
One-winged angel.
It's too much Novocaine in my tongue.
Yeah.
That I hit myself. I shoot up with Novocaine in my tongue every morning before I go on a show, and I say, this sounds like a good idea. He didn't hit him with his finisher.
Right.
And that was, again, a lot of that was a story that nobody's ever kicked out of it, right? Mm-hmm. And he just couldn't do it. I also think he couldn't get, he's a meaty boy, that Tanahashi.
Yeah.
Do you want to see a Tanahashi John Cena match? I really do.
I would like that.
You know why? Because I want to see John Cena attempt to do Japanese moves. Because he's so stiff.
Do you think he'd be able to do some strong style slapping?
No.
No, you think he would just that hurts.
I want to see him do a lion salt.
He does that really broke ass Hurricane Rana sometimes.
He does, and it's like Scott Steiner doing the Frankensteiner now.
Yeah. And he does he used to do that top rope leg drop, which I really liked. I'm a big fan. Hey buddy. I'm a big fan of leg drops from the top rope. Great. I thought it was a great match. It was beautiful. I got very emotional during the match just because, like, you kind of felt that Kenny was going to lose.
Okay.
You know? And it's also bizarre how, I mean, champions have their run, right? Kenny deserved that belt probably more than anybody on that roster, right?
Yeah.
Just because of his path and the story and everything. But leading into New Year's Dash, nothing, dude.
Yeah. So Kenny loses. Tanahashi celebrates. Big story. Tanahashi's the ace once again. He is the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Leading into 2019.
Do you think Tana needed that belt?
I think New Japan needed that belt on Tana.
Okay. That's a good point.
I don't think Tanahashi needed it. I think New Japan needed to put it on him. So now the fallout goes into New Year's Dash.
Yeah.
So let's start off with there was no
nothing.
There was no
Nothing
Hangman
happened.
Page.
No Hangman, no Marty.
No Marty Scurll. No Young Bucks. No Cody.
No
Kenny and Micah. Which is fine. Kenny not being there telling the story. He had a brutal, match.
Sure.
Okay. So you're talking the 6 guys from the Elite not on the card.
Yeah.
Doesn't
it? It's bizarre.
Jericho also. Seven of the main guys that were on the pay-per-view are not there.
Isn't it bizarre that it felt off because those guys weren't there? Because they've been there for years.
Well,
right?
I think it felt off because they couldn't. Normally, this brings closure,
right,
and a new beginning.
Yeah.
They didn't do. I mean, the closure was the night before. And they didn't really start over. I mean, they did hit a major reset button.
Yeah.
At Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, 100%.
They did also announce that next year, 2020, it'll be 2-day show at the Dome.
Tokyo Dome, yeah.
So New Year's Dash is now going to the Tokyo Dome the following day.
Great.
Okay, fine. It's cool. Whatever.
Good.
I think they're going to be very disappointed if a lot of these things that we are anticipating happens and they don't do a $39,000, $40,000 house.
Well, I think a lot of that stuff also has to do with the potential deal that New Japan is working with these guys.
So let's go into New Year's Dash. I was very underwhelmed.
Yeah,
because they did not, and it had nothing to do with the Bucks in them. They just didn't solidify major players. Jay White now is challenging for the world title. Okada's coming back for the title. Minoru Suzuki wants Tanahashi for the title. Did you hear Minoru Suzuki's promo?
So good.
About how he's a video game playing loser about Kenny Omega, and he's beat Tanahashi before, and it was the biggest embarrassment of his career to not even be on the main card at the Tokyo Dome. He would have been better off left off the card. I think that some of that is genuine.
Yeah.
So I do want to see Tanahashi and Suzuki.
Yes.
Right? I would want to see that. I want to see Okada and Tanahashi again, which I don't think that'll happen for a little bit.
Yeah.
So we are going to... And then Jericho wants a piece of that title.
Which is awesome. And
which is fine, but they also don't... They just let Jericho say whatever he wants.
Exactly. I think there's something to that, though. One of the other weird things that came out into Here's Dash was now we have a feud between Yuji Nagata and Ishii.
Yeah.
Which is great, because I could watch those guys slap each other all day. The Suzuki stuff is awesome. I love Suzuki-gun. I think, like, what I was trying to say at the beginning of the show is it seems like the bookers were like, you know what? Like, we need to go back to, for the time being, we need to go back to our traditionalist Japanese mentality. So we're going to push Suzuki-gun a little bit.
Well, they tried to do that last year, remember?
2 years ago, they tried to do that.
No, it was last year. They invaded at New Year's Dash.
Who, Suzuki-gun?
Suzuki, yeah. They came back and they beat the crap out of everybody.
That's
and then,
right.
It didn't really... no, you know what happened? Who's the crazy one? That goes in the crowd with the chains. No. The guy...
Taichi?
Taichi? Is it Taichi? Something happened with him. And then Lance Archer got hurt.
Right.
Because they were going to get a big push for the tag titles. And he got injured. So that kind of fell apart over there. So what do you see happening now? This is very interesting. So New Japan is... Out of all the... So right now we have Ring of Honor. Actually, very little Ring of Honor presence on this show, too.
Yeah. Surprisingly, right?
Yeah. Last year we had a Ring of Honor title match. We did not have Ring of Honor stuff this year. So maybe that says something about the relationship that's happening.
But again, last year was a bigger show, remember?
Last year was a much bigger show. So now we have a sit-down between Ring of Honor AEW and New Japan. We don't know what the discussion was.
Mm.
I believe
They're just talking about Jay White.
they're just talking. That's all they're doing.
Well, before we get into that,
yeah, go ahead.
that was the other big thing, because usually New Year's Dash ends with something major like Jericho attacking Naito and all that stuff. But this year it ended up with the reunion of the Bullet Club. You know, apart from the elite guys.
So Chase Owens and
Pimp Juice is back.
Pimp Juice is back. Peter is back.
Yeah, so like, and that was cool. And then Jay White in that backstage interview established himself as the leader of the Bullet Club, saying, forget about anybody else's era. This is the Switchblade era.
Okay.
And then, you know, like, too sweet and at the bottom.
Yeah, they do a bottom too sweet.
Bottom sweet, but it's like
this.
Like this?
Hey.
Yeah.
Izuka.
Okay.
That was his name. Thank you very much.
So,
Sorry.
go ahead.
My brain's not functioning right now.
The AEW meetings, right?
AEW meeting. I know that they're going to be using CMLL guys a lot because you also have Fantastic Mania coming up in February, which is always a lot of fun. You're going to have that. Is that the one that Marty dressed up like Princess Jasmine? No, Marty dressed up like the genie and Kenny Omega dressed up like Princess Jasmine.
Yeah.
So right now the big story is Kenny Omega. He only has about 2 weeks on his contract. I believe his contract ends sometime end of January. Now that could be anywhere from the 20th to the 30th. I don't have the date.
Surprisingly, why do we know this information? You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like the contract stuff is so kayfabed.
Why don't we, or why do we?
Why do we? Because it's like everybody's like, no, it's January 31st. You posted something, and people are like, he's not going to be in the Rumble. His contract is up on January 31st.
Well, the same thing was said about AJ Styles.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but his contract ends at the end of January.
Yeah.
His commitments are finished.
Yes.
Technically, he doesn't have any more commitments. So, what do you do with this guy? He's obviously a huge star for you, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying on Thursday, where if you take all the other guys out of the equation, Kenny's star power in Japan stays the same, obviously,
right?
But his star power around the world diminishes.
We talked about that the other day, yeah,
because you have now removed the aura around him.
Okay.
I think what happens to him then is that he goes deep into this video game character.
Okay.
You know, and really, I think the thing that really made Kenny Omega was the Bullet Club stuff. That really elevated him, and he came into the cleaner persona.
It helped a lot.
It helped a lot. I love the Golden Lovers stuff, but that's not what made him a main event guy.
No. His match quality, the Okada stuff,
the seriousness, and when, you know, that's what really got him there. So I don't know what future as a top world's best sought after guy Kenny has if he stays another year. And if New Japan will put him in that top situation, because if they know that he is 1 foot out,
right,
and he signs, are you going to build your entire company around Kenny Omega as your top guy, knowing that next year he's probably seeing you later?
Well, we saw the writing on the wall with that, with all the Jay White stuff, especially with Gato teaming with him, you know, because Gato's one of the bookers. And, you know, if that guy has an interest in you, much like he did with Okada, you're going to be the guy.
Listen, I don't think New Japan anticipated AEW happening.
I
think the big thing for them was, okay, you know what? We work with Ring of Honor. These guys will go to Ring of Honor. They'll work a little less with us. Maybe we'll lose 1 or 2 of them to WWE.
Not all.
Not right now. They have they're in the position of losing Jericho.
Yeah,
and Jericho only did a couple matches. So I'm just saying name and Western recognition.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about top guys. You have Jericho, you have the Bucks, you have Marty Scurll, you have Hangman Page, you have Cody Rhodes, and you have Kenny Omega.
7 dudes.
You have 7 guys that have been a major PR tool for you.
Absolutely.
I mean, outside of the wrestling, they have been the ones selling the merch, getting the deals, Funko Pop toys for them, for New Japan. None of this would have been
Ring
possible.
Of Honor too, man.
And for Ring of Honor,
big draw. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think people have underestimated the power that those guys have as a draw is bananas. You know, especially for like independent workers, right?
Yeah.
I think the Kenny thing is very interesting too, because like either A, he stays in Japan, becomes like the king of Japan, right? And you have amazing matches for the next who knows how many years.
Yeah.
Right? Or he takes that supposed big money deal from WWE.
So the offer, the rumor is, and I actually verified this, it is not an accurate number. The rumor is $3.5 million downside guarantee per year. I asked someone that knows this 100%, and they said that is not an accurate number.
Okay.
Now, they didn't want to go into anything else.
Yeah.
They didn't say it's 3.2. They didn't say it's 3. They said, oh, no, that number's not accurate.
Yeah.
And they were very specific on downside.
Right.
No, that's not an accurate number. That there's no downside guarantee of $3.5 million a year. So that doesn't mean that they're not offering him $3 million a year.
Exactly.
It's still very possible. And if you're Kenny Omega and you're being thrown $3.5 million a year, you're 33 years old.
Sure.
Right. You're at the peak.
Maybe
you're at Randy Orton money. You're getting more money than AJ Styles was offered. You're getting more money than Daniel Bryan was offered. You're being offered one of the greatest contracts in professional wrestling. I would take it. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? 35. Okay, 35 years old. He's killed himself for how many years? 15 years?
Yeah.
14 years?
And now he can work an easier style.
And he works an easier style, but he's a master of his art.
Exactly.
So I think his value, if we're talking investment in persona, he is more valuable in the long run if he does go to AEW. He can still build his craft and be the king of North America now. Builds this brand. And Kenny is needed way more by AEW than he needs AEW.
100%.
Way more.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate if AEW doesn't get him. I don't think they'll have an easy time with a top deal.
I think they'll get
a top guy, a top guy. Listen, you have the opportunity to get the biggest name in professional wrestling right now. Right? Biggest name, biggest acquisition. If we go backwards, this is like Brock Lesnar going to Impact.
Right.
Listen, and by the way, it would have never worked if he did, but this is that kind of acquisition.
Yeah.
Not even a Kurt Angle going to Impact. This is like trying to think who was the top guy.
John Cena.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, fine. John Cena in 2005 going to Impact Wrestling.
Or Punk in 2014 going to Impact.
Or CM Punk in 2014 going to Impact or going to Japan. This is a major get. If he goes to AEW will solidify themselves as a major company. They will have a top guy locked in for at least a year that you could build your company around, get the notoriety. Kenny then says, you know what? I'm going to WWE. I've achieved everything.
I feel like it makes more sense to do it the other way around.
Go to WWE?
Go to WWE. And this is complete speculation, by the way. But I think, let's say he doesn't sign again with New Japan, goes to WWE only because he's coming in with so much clout and so much notoriety that he will be put in matches with people that he can have amazing matches with, right?
But let's talk about Nakamura, right? We said that about Nakamura. Now, Nakamura would never get the push that Kenny Omega would get.
Right.
But personally, I would want to see him in AEW, not because I'm being selfish and I don't want to see him in WWE, because I think he would do unbelievable things in WWE, just because I want there to be a competitor in North America that has access to a Kenny Omega to really make WWE's product better.
I agree to a certain extent, but I also think that if he goes, let's say he does the WWE thing first, does it for a year, lets AEW build itself.
You're never leaving if you go.
And then goes.
You're never, and the WWE's not offering him a 1-year deal.
Multiple year.
It's
deal.
A multi-year
Interesting.
deal.
All right.
Yeah. And they're not offering anybody a 1-year deal. Everybody's getting locked into multiple deals, and that is also why some names are now being speculated that they may leave.
Right.
Like Shinsuke Nakamura. There is a very good chance. I know that the stories, his family's here, but from what I heard over the weekend, I would anticipate that he is at least playing with the idea. His contract ends in March.
Right.
So,
surprise entrant in the G1.
Right now, by the way, there's no real WrestleMania plans for him.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
So, and New Japan needs him.
I think so. At this point,
with these guys leaving, they need a Shinsuke Nakamura.
We'll give you all the money.
I mean, really, they need they do. AJ Styles is not going anywhere, by the way.
Yeah, man.
A lot of people are saying well, Styles is not going anywhere.
He's in America.
He's loving the WWE.
Absolutely.
He's a top guy. They treat him like they are treating him like a veteran, like he's been there for 20 years.
Which is amazing.
You know, he has a lot of flexibility in that company.
Puts asses in seats.
And he does. Shinsuke Nakamura not necessarily getting treated like that.
Yeah.
And I anticipate him leaving. I don't know when. I don't know if he'll sign for another year or he'll stay, but they want to lock these guys in for multiple years. So, fine. Nakamura goes. Maybe Nakamura goes to AEW. That's possible too. His family's here. Maybe he says, "Screw this. I'm going to AEW."
At the end of the day, it's just 3 letters and a handful of signees at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like there's so much speculation on it. Like what's gonna happen? What shows are they gonna run? What's up with Double or Nothing? Right.
So I've also heard, and I'm gonna mute my mic for this.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. That's very interesting.
That's what is holding up on signing the piece of paper.
The linchpin.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Sorry, I couldn't say that on the air, guys.
Can you turn the mic off again really quick?
Hold on. I'll text it to you.
Okay.
He asked me just now for a nude picture. That's what he needed me to mute this for.
You know what? I shouldn't have muted the mic. I should have just said, "Hey, Andrew,
you could have asked.
Show me your piece."
Yeah.
Before the party. I just want to see it.
Listen, by the way, Kenny will be extremely successful in WWE.
He'll be successful anywhere.
Extremely successful.
Yeah.
He will be a main event guy the second he walks into that company because of here's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay. Last major player to sign with WWE that had merchandise that was super hot.
Joe.
Not super hot.
Well, do you mean before?
I'm saying
ahead of time.
7-figure merch sales prior to WWE.
Nobody.
I'm asking the universe this question.
The NWO.
The NWO would have been the most successful merch that WCW ever did.
Yeah. And they're still probably getting money from those T-shirts.
Yeah. No, they don't get a cut.
You don't think so?
No,
because
they don't own it.
Okay.
Just think about it. Who was the last person that signed with WWE that had a significant? Let's say significant merchandise sales. There's nobody.
That is true. That is 100% true.
And that is a major part of this. The fact that this guy, the second Kenny Omega shows up, they can merchandise. I mean, they will have the dolls. They'll have the Funko Pops. I mean, which we have already.
Right.
I have an open one there.
Kenny,
that's my retirement.
You got 2 Kennys.
I do. I have 2 Kennys here.
And a Venom.
This is my retirement.
Uh-huh.
I've taken all my stocks out, and I'm just investing in Funko Pops now. All right? Tell me if you think this is a good idea.
Terrible idea. Those things do not go up in value.
You know what? Shinsuke Nakamura had really good merch prior to coming.
No,
and
he did.
And they did nothing with it.
He did. Kevin Owens had great merch.
Kevin Owens had decent merch, too. Yeah.
Kevin
decent
Owens,
merch.
The fight, the Killstein kill shirts.
Killstein kill shirts.
Fight, you know.
Bullet Club shirts, obviously.
Would you count?
Gallows and Anderson. But they did nothing with that.
Would you count? Well, they released a lot of Bullet Club themed shirts for them, which is like the OGBC shirt, the Gallows and Anderson shirt.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They could have treated that so differently.
They could have. They came in the right way.
They came in the perfect way.
And then
they couldn't drop they couldn't win the titles because the New Day was in the midst of that 5,000 day title reign.
Right.
And that ruined them.
Well, it's also that weird mentality of like, we're going to build you up and break you down really quick for that WWE has, right?
Yeah.
And it worked. Like AJ is a good example. Like it didn't work on AJ. You know, AJ actually debuted as a main eventer and maintained his spot, right? But Kevin Owens, that guy was, when he got to the main roster, huge impact.
Yeah.
And then he dwindled for like a good year, remember?
Yeah.
They love doing that. I think now Gallows and Anderson are on the upswing. They're on their way back. Do you count Adam Cole as part of that, like pre-existing merch sales?
What did he have?
Or because he had the Bullet Club stuff too?
I'm not counting Bullet Club.
Okay.
Not those guys. I'm saying like Bullet Club would be the Young, but like the Young Bucks would be a huge get for them.
Yeah.
Merch wise.
Oh yeah.
Kenny Omega, huge get for them merch wise. You know, this Bullet Club stuff, huge get. I mean, obviously they can't call them the Bullet Club, but they could do a partnership with the Elite. They could do something like that.
They could do the.
I mean, at the prior, now they can't because that's all
Yeah.
theirs. But there's a lot to do with Kenny. So they now are in a position of, Kenny is also in a position of, okay, do I want to, how many years am I going to do this?
Right.
I'm 35 years old, 34, 33? 35.
35.
Okay, so he's my age.
Sure.
35 years old. I got a solid 5 to 7 years
Right.
of being
Top guy. Yeah.
I got to make all the freaking money in the world because God forbid I fall, I slip, and I blow my knee, and I'm done. What do I do then?
It's a good point. You know, like there's always that fear. Where would you put Kenny if he went to WWE? Would you debut him at the Rumble, number 30, beats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? A total coup.
Okay, fine. Let's have some fun with this, right? You debut him at number 30. Not number 30. I'm sorry. You debut him at the Rumble.
Yeah.
He has to be in the ring with somebody to have a feud with. I would have him and Balor. That would be his first feud.
Really?
I would have him and Finn Balor go head to head, and it would be kind of like a thing of the Bullet Club. And they do like they go at it for a little bit. They both get eliminated. They don't win, and you just set up a match at WrestleMania.
I think Kenny would be the king of SmackDown.
Well, he would have a little bit more freedom there, but
I think
also
so.
remember,
Yeah.
SmackDown needs stars. Let's also put that into variance here, right? Like we're talking about WWE, and AEW and New Japan, but we should really be talking about SmackDown and AEW, and because SmackDown needs, they got to pull Rich. They got to do about 3.5 to 4 million viewers a week
on Fox.
Yeah. And this is no joke. Like they really should be panicking at this point about this because their numbers are they need to double essentially. They need 100% gain in viewership by the fall. So they have about 9 months to turn whatever they're doing into at least 3 million on the debut. Well, the debut has to have a lot more. The debut needs to have, if they're average, right? We're talking about an average of 3.5 million, 3.2 million, let's say. They could settle on 3 million. Nothing under 3 will be acceptable.
Yeah.
They have to do a major turnaround. I don't know with the current group that they have how to do it. We spoke about last week, obviously, how many pure wrestling fans are in existence, how many of those guys are going to come in and watch, how you're going to get the mainstream to come in over and watch. Obviously, you create having competition there that's doing good wrestling and eyeballs on them builds everything a little bit more. But you need Ronda Rousey there. Yes. You need top quality guys. Seth. Fox wants to treat this like a sport also. That's the other thing.
3 hours.
You're not Kenny on SmackDown would be the guy.
I agree with that. I think maybe, and it just seems like, I feel like if they do a big major shift at this point, let's say they do sign Kenny, I would personally love to have Triple H in charge of SmackDown. Vince can do Raw. Triple H to SmackDown.
I think they need both shows to be super successful.
Yeah.
You need both shows. I mean, they lead into each other.
Well, this Monday is going to be interesting because this is the first non-tape Raw in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. And since the reset, now we have this, this major, whatever they're calling it.
Huge part of the reset apparently is bringing Hogan in on Monday.
Yeah, brother. To talk about Mean Gene.
Which is great,
They were waiting for this moment to bring Hogan for something.
We need Hogan for something.
Yeah. Listen, Kenny, WWE potentially needs Kenny Omega a little bit more than he needs them.
Yeah.
The money's good. And by the way, this whole stuff about that he's a sellout, can we stop that? Guys, and I'm not saying it's our audience specifically, but the lack of understanding how life is amazes me sometimes that you are angry and you feel turned on by a guy that puts his body on the line every single time he's in the ring, works his ass off, starved himself for the first half of his career, on the road 100 and something days a year, can't have a normal functioning life, like a normal human being, like whoever's complaining has the opportunity to do that, and you're bitching that this guy wants to take the best opportunity for his future.
Exactly.
It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about him as an athlete or an entertainer. Exactly. Doing all this stuff, and now this is his swan song. He's at the peak, the pinnacle of his career, and it has to lead to retirement at one point and happiness. So if he wants to go to WWE, let him go to WWE. Let him make all the money in the world and be successful in life and be happy.
Exactly. It's the choice of, and people are so nuts when it comes to that stuff.
People love the starving artist. It's his art. Fine, that's great. But you know what? You also need to pay bills and think about your future. God forbid he falls and breaks his leg, his neck.
Yeah.
Who's going to pay his bills? You?
Exactly.
You're going to give a $20 GoFundMe to him and say you contributed to him? He doesn't owe anybody anything.
Yeah. Except for himself.
He
could go, and that's the interesting thing, too, where I think there's a lot of speculation. You can go and hang out with your buddies and do something new and cool, or you can do something else and challenge yourself and do something different, right? In the last year, Kenny has talked about going into that WWE system, saying, I think I could play within that sandbox. I'm creative enough to play within the sandbox, which is a great mentality for people to have.
Listen, guys, we need to. It's not about. We as fans should enjoy what we watch.
Yeah,
but it's not a personal attack on us.
Exactly.
It's not. Kenny Omega going to Impact. If he goes to Impact, if he says I'm done, I'm over this.
Yeah.
He's over it. He's done.
Would you call Would you call Tanahashi a sellout if he went to WWE?
I want to see him in every uncomfortable. He makes me very uncomfortable, Tanahashi.
I've a couple of buddies of mine have expressed that to me, in the last couple of days.
What, that he's if he would be a
sellout? No, that he makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah, something's off about him.
Is it his thong tan that Kenny exposed?
His thong tan, that's what it is. Yeah,
the tan line.
Yeah, I like that thongs in pro wrestling on men is part of life.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah. I wear my G-string constantly. I think it's like a weird, bizarre subculture thing.
Yeah.
Listen, I thought we have only a couple days to find out what's really going on. Now, there's a big Bullet Club, geez. There's a big elite press conference in Jacksonville, right across the street from where they're going to be holding SmackDown.
Another invasion. I can't wait.
Vince apparently is monitoring this.
I'm monitoring it closely.
You know what he's doing? He has one of those, like the telescope. Like one of these.
A telescope?
No, like the pirates have.
Yeah.
Like one of these. Like
periscope.
Is it a periscope?
No, periscope is this thing. No, that's a telescope.
It is, but it's like an old school one. Like he has one of those on top of his building from Titan Towers, trying to see what's going on.
Hello.
They also Penta and Phoenix offered a big deal by AEW. Impact offered them a 6-figure deal also, but it's like a couple $100,000.
Excuse me.
To get them. It is not at the level of what AEW is offering.
Yeah.
They are under contract, by the way, with Lucha Underground till 2020.
Mm-hmm.
There is something going on there. So I don't know how they get out of that, how they don't get out of it, how they could do events. So there's a lot going on there, but they're also wrestling at MLW, and they have an agreement with them. So to me, it seems like they have, a verbal agreement. That's it.
Is this going to kill the steam that MLW has built up in the last
year? No, I don't think so. Because you know why? MLW is doing really good with... Actually, it's possible. If they go after guys like...
Because they signed KBS.
Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah.
That's another name that we're not really talking about. Because he could potentially be, the next couple of years.
Pillman Jr.
Joey Janela.
Austin Gunn.
Austin Gunn is Billy Gunn's son. Yeah. And I find it so weird.
Why? That he had a son?
That he has a grown son.
And that he's like a junior ass man?
That is a junior ass man. Yeah.
He has the tights and everything. He
does. There's a lot of these other guys like Hangman, Marty.
Cheeseburger.
So we'll see what happens.
I'm dying right now.
Are you okay? You want me to blow out the candle? Is it the candle?
It's not the candle. Something just...
This is our thing this year. I thought we were doing candles.
I love the candle.
Guys, I want to, before we wrap it up, we're going to be doing your mailbag, so submit your questions in the chat. If you're watching this live on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, guys. It's right under, if you scroll down, you can hit subscribe to the show. People are saying, get this poor guy some water. No.
I asked for water at the beginning.
He's not getting any water. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. It helps us out. Also, if you want to fund us on YouTube, you can. There's a $ sign right on the bottom. You can support the show by hitting that and funding us $1. if you enjoy the show, or $2 if you enjoy the show, or $5, whatever you want to do. Another way that you can support the show, I'm going to mute you while I do the live read. Another way you can support the show is going to patreon.com/MattMenPodcast. You can fund us there for all our bonus shows. The reason why we're doing this is because we hit our first goal, and we're giving you extra bonus shows. This is what, and Rich is dead. He's done. Yeah, he's good now. You can go and fund us there as well. If you have any questions, obviously submit it, and we'll do our best to answer what we know. And some things, by the way, I got into a little trouble on Thursday.
Why?
Some of the stuff that I said, I should not have said.
Oh, well.
I was yelled at by a friend of mine. He said, it's premature, and I said, I'm used to doing that.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you're doing things a little too prematurely. And I said, I can't wait. I'm really bad at holding it. So I got yelled at, but it's okay. I didn't burn any bridges. I said, I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to say some of this stuff. And we just went from there.
Yeah.
Best guess from each of you. What is the upside of AEW? Financial upside or upside of going?
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if they offered a $1 million deal to somebody. Me.
They're gonna give you $1 million.
Yeah.
You're the new champion.
I'm there. It's comparable to WWE numbers, what they're offering guys.
It's really cool too.
Now, I'm not saying that that's through the board, right? A lot of these lower guys may not be getting that kind of money, but they need to make a 8-person top tier bid.
Yeah.
They really need to do a top. When is AEW weekly episodes? It won't. So, by the way, AEW, their next major pay-per-view is going to be Memorial Day weekend.
Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
I believe it's going to be at the in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. Now there is some speculation depending on playoffs. If there's like a playoff overrun, I think Mandalay Bay or MGM was a secondary concept if that happens. But they are probably going to be in Vegas. I know a lot of speculation that it's going to be in Detroit, and my answer is why. But Vegas seems to be more likely with the Double or Nothing. So whatever happens, I don't think they'll get TV before Memorial Day. So we're looking at after Memorial Day.
Isn't it awesome also that Dusty Rhodes was the king of Florida?
Yeah.
And now Cody
is the king of Florida.
Is going to be the king of Florida.
Yeah. Amazing. Like WCW level, TNA level.
Too soon to tell.
What are we talking about here with what level? Are we talking popularity wise? I think it depends. I think they'll blow through TNA.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. They're going to be the number 2 company if the right moves are made.
Because they don't have any we mentioned this a little bit the other day. There's no stigma yet. There's no you don't get that TNA Jared funk all over it.
Yeah, you don't have that's exactly. You don't have the TNA Jared funk.
So it's a new fresh option, and I think that's what makes it so great. But again, it's just a name and a handful of signings at this point. We have no idea what's going on, but that's the cool part about wrestling. If you think 2018 was crazy, 2019 has the potential to be even more crazy.
So let's, guys, rapid fire questions, because we're going to blow through these because we got to get out, because I have my daughter's 3rd birthday party that's about to happen
right now.
Right now, brother. Best guess from each of you. What's the upside? So they will be above what TNA ever was.
Yes.
They'll be above Ring of Honor.
Yes.
I don't know how far above TNA. TNA was doing 1 million buys on Spike.
Yeah.
Too soon to tell, but I think in order to be a successful company and be treated seriously, they need to be doing 1 million viewers per episode. I don't think they'll do that from the get-go. Maybe if they have Kenny Omega, maybe they get a couple other big names.
Abyss.
They gotta grow. They can't stay the same. So I think they'll start off a couple 100,000 in the hot, maybe 500, 500,000 views.
Yeah.
And then go up from there. Best guess from Deacon slowly trying to kill Rich. Yes, that's true. How many more viewers would Kenny Omega bring to WWE? Don't most fans back AEW? I don't think he'll bring more viewers than they have already. I think they'll have potential growth.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega's not going to turn the needle by 500,000 views his first night in. We got to remember that, because the hardcore fans, even though they bitch and moan, they still watch Raw.
Yeah.
So they'll have an upswing from interest from WWE fans and wrestling fans. I don't know how much of an upswing that'll be. What does Austin do when he shows up on Raw? What does McMahon do when he shows up on Raw? What does The Rock do? Here's a great example. What does The Rock do? Rock moves the needle a little bit, about 200, 300,000
Oh, absolutely,
views.
yeah.
So will he have as much as The Rock? Will he have less than The Rock? It's untested,
right?
So it's hard to gauge. When is AEW weekly episodes? It'll probably happen around the time, if not soon after their first show in Memorial. It's looking to be around the end of May, early June. Popularity, okay. How bad is this? Is it for guys if AEW fails? It's not bad at all.
Right.
Because they can pick up, and I think it's bad for the industry.
Yeah.
Because we need competition. I don't see it failing catastrophically.
Right.
Like an XFL fail.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of money behind it, and if there's the right TV, like we've discussed, they'll have the ability to have P2 and P3 engagement with, let's say they're on TNT and it's a playoff game and it's Lakers with LeBron in the finals. You know what happens? You know what's great? When the commentator says, also look in the crowd, it's Cody Rhodes from AEW Wrestling. Following this right now, we're going to have an AEW special happening. AEW is doing the Clash of Gold on CBS on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Like that's extremely beneficial, and that's something WWE does not really get with USA. How many more viewers would Omega bring? We answered that question for Rich. Why are we still Vikings fans? Rich, I don't think you watch football.
I don't really watch football.
Yeah.
No, I'm a basketball guy.
So who is the investor for All In? That guy with football club? Is he really, really rich? And can they sign most guys? It's Tony Khan. So his father owns football in English. Genghis Khan is his father. The ruler,
the Mongol warrior.
Tony Khan is the president or whatever you call him.
Yeah.
The major financial backer. We're looking at hundreds, not hundreds of millions of dollars invested, but we're looking at upwards of $100 million potential investment for AEW. Yes, he's a billionaire. He's very smart. He's young. He's 36, 37 years old, 38 years old. He's been a huge wrestling fan his whole life. And a very competent man. Very impressive when you read about him. Honestly, the Elite should have went to Impact to save them. Impact has such terrible stink on them that Pop TV doesn't even want them. They have to go to the Pursuit channel, which is owned by the Anthem.
Plus, if you recall, the Bucks were already in TNA, and they did nothing with them.
They did nothing with them. Random question: which McMahon would you want to have tea and crumpets with? That includes Treehouse Vince. Treehouse Vince, I want more than just crumpets.
Oh, he wants those crumpets.
I would want to sit down
Shane
with. I could drink with Shane McMahon.
I would have tea with Shane McMahon.
I would go to a bar, Midtown Manhattan. You know what? I'm going to Mastros.
I want your Shane fantasy.
Shane, listen to me. It's on me. I promise you. I pick him up in the limo.
You're driving it, or you're in the back?
I got
the back waiting.
I got Julio driving.
Okay.
That's not a racist joke I'm making. I'll get the club to send Julio. Okay. I'm in the back, roses in hand.
How are you dressed?
Party dress.
Yeah, you're in a dress.
No.
Okay.
I'm dressed Andrew's suit, skinny suit.
Okay.
Actually, I meet him at Mastros.
No
I get the limo. I get the limo. Pick him up. Drop him off. We have a couple drinks.
Sure.
A couple of cocktails.
Okay.
3 hours goes by.
Okay. And what are you drinking? Martinis?
I'm drinking martinis.
Right.
Shane is drinking whiskey.
Okay.
McAllen's 18 on the rocks. Shane is drinking. I'm drinking. We're hanging out. We start talking inside stuff. I finally go, I'm like, Shane, let's talk business. And we start talking about wrestling. He starts telling me McMahon stories. One thing leads to another.
Mwah.
He kisses me.
Yeah.
And that's on the nose.
Does he
right on the nose?
Is he like, all right, man, good talking to you, and he goes for the older guy kiss on the cheek?
No.
But then you turn.
I turn.
And you get the lips.
No. He's like, I'm having a real good time with you. I didn't think that I would have this good time, and then he just kisses me right on the nose.
I like that.
That's my McMahon.
It's a very sweet fantasy.
Yeah, it's a very
nice.
It's
does that put you to bed? Like, when you think about that before you go to bed,
Every
and you're
night.
like, Shane. And your wife is like, Andrew, what are you thinking about? And you're like, just Shane.
Just Shane.
Just Shane.
No, I would want to hang out with Shane. How about you?
I just said Shane.
You said
I
Shane.
have an elaborate fantasy.
Okay, whatever.
I would have tea with Shane, and that's it. He'd be like, who are you? I'd say, I'm rich. I won a contest.
How many viewers will Omega bring? We said that. How many fans going to tune into AEW?
3.
Let's fantasize that they're on Turner. They're on TNT on Tuesday from 8 to 10.
Oh, my God.
I would say the first show would get 560,000 viewers.
Wrestling is back on TNT.
Yeah.
That you're going to get that promo. If that happens, this is just speculation at this point. Or any channel, any major channel, right?
Wrestling's back.
Wrestling is on CBS. Which would probably never happen.
Do you have any quick fix ideas for SmackDown to get 3 million viewers?
Ronda Rousey, The Undertaker.
Ronda Rousey, John Cena, The Undertaker, The Rock,
Kenny Omega.
That's it. And just some crazy ass angles.
2 hours of Kenny Omega fighting Samoa Joe.
Yeah, that'll
with tons of run-ins.
That'll put butts in seats. Mm-hmm. They're gonna have to step up their game. They're gonna have to get really captivating, interesting storylines also, which they're not really doing a lot of storylines. Yeah. Does the XFL mean less Vince involvement in WWE and more Triple H? I think over the years we're gonna see less Vince and more Triple H. I don't think Vince wants to be on TV.
Yeah.
I think we're starting to see the transition happening now. So by the time the XFL launches in 2020 and 2021 comes around, I think we're getting more control being let go. Unfortunately, I think some of the problems that WWE has is Vince letting control go.
Okay.
I think that's also some of it because there's too many people suggesting what they think is good.
Right.
When in reality, one guy built everything.
Yeah, exactly.
With him doing it. I think Hunter is the best guy to run the company.
Absolutely.
I think he needs more. I think when the passing of the torch happens and it's Hunter and Steph, we're going to see a lot of these people that talk disappearing.
I think so.
Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know.
Yeah, I love weird football.
His dad owns the Jags. Yes, his dad owns the Jags, and also he owns some a soccer team.
Yeah.
Hopefully there will be more focus on tag team and wrestling in AEW. Yes, they should be because there's more focus on wrestling. With the G1 tour will the G1 tour be enough to keep NJPW viewership in the States? I don't know. I think once these guys have exited, I think they're going to be in for a surprise when they're not doing so well. Because remember, after that All In show, they ran the following week. They ran a show at the Pyramid, whatever,
something,
in California, and they did less than 3,000 people through the door, which was a major disappointment. Santana Garrett go to AEW. I like Santana Garrett. I think she should. Off the rails. I don't know what that was. How much money do you have, Richie Rich?
$3.
$300. Britt Baker should have signed with NXT. How bad will Andrew want to drink 1 hour into a 3-year-old's party? I'm probably going to start drinking as soon as we're done.
I'm going for a beer run after this.
Yeah, we're getting beer. Baker would be just another signed wrestler in NXT. AEW would be better. And will Aaliyah be a top heel on NXT?
She unfortunately died in a plane crash a few years ago.
Not that Aaliyah. What if Tony Khan buys WWE? He cannot afford WWE. WWE is a multi-billion dollar.
He could buy the NWA.
Company.
He could buy Impact.
The only people that could potentially buy WWE, Disney.
That's
the only people that could throw money. $68 billion. That's his exit right there.
I can't wait. I want Disney to buy WWE, and I want Han Solo to show up.
Oh, my God, the crossover. Yeah. Spider-Man showing up on Raw?
Right? Yep.
Yeah. Oh, God. I can't wait for that. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Guys, again, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. We're doing this bonus show. We're doing 2 shows because we hit our goal on Patreon last month. So if you want to have us continue doing this, we're installing this in a couple of weeks. We're going to be doing phone calls also on Saturdays when we do shows.
Very cool.
Go to patreon.com/MattMenPodcast. You can fund us there. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can hit that dollar button on the bottom. Hit that dollar button and join the super chat, and you could fund us.
And kiss us.
$2, $1, $5, $50, $300. You can fund us whatever you want. And and it helps us out, really.
If you fund us over $300, you could definitely take us out on a date. Much like Andrew Shane fantasy.
You can have my Andrew Shane fantasy. How about that? All right, guys, that's it for this week. Go to our website, gfqnetwork.com. All our shows are archived. You can subscribe to us everywhere podcasts are available. Love that you guys are listening. This was great interaction. I absolutely love this. And that's it. We'll see you all next time. Take care.